Okay, everybody. I have something really cool to tell you about. If you haven't heard yet about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain here. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one single place. Now, the way that you can do this is you got to download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm, and then you can get started. It's really fun. We just switched over recently here at All Too Real 2, and I'm enjoying it so far. So be sure to check it out and let us know what you think.
Entering the world of Crisis on Infinite Films, brought to you by All Too Real 2 Podcast.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me via phone today is my co-host, Matthew Haas.
Yeah, Matthew Haas / Killer Frost / Elongated Man from Earth 79 and a half.
I'm from Earth 77 myself. Because that's the year I was born. But,
oh, okay.
So, today this is going to be part of our Crisis on Infinite Films series, but we are actually covering Crisis on Infinite Earths from the CW's DC television series. Yes. So, this was like the biggest crossover in television history. Dun, dun,
oh, wow.
dun.
Was it?
Probably, yes. I'd say it was. So, back in December, remember that month, Matt?
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
It was.
There was the beginning of Crisis on Infinite Earths. And what they had 3 episodes then, and then this past week they had 2 episodes. So a total of 5 episodes.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
So in the first 3 episodes, a lot happened. Basically, we had on Supergirl, all of a sudden, skies got red. Not red like when you read a book, but the color red.
They were, yeah, you know, the skies weren't being read like, a book or anything like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Harry Potter or anything like that, no.
And, what we had happen was many Earths in the multiverse were destroyed. We did see some nice cameos at the beginning of the first episode there. We saw Robert Wuhl's character from Batman 89. So that connected Michael Keaton's Batman, and therefore Val Kilmer's Batman, and George Clooney's Batman, who are technically all the same Batman.
Yeah.
To the DC TV series. That's fun to say. Series.
Series. I think it's the series with the apostrophe after the S.
I know.
I don't know if that's how you say it though. I never. Yeah, series is. What else was connected? Robin, right?
Yeah, from Batman 66.
Okay.
So we had two Batman Earths connected to our Earths here. We also had, I don't know, a few other Earths connected. We had some stuff from like Titans, and some other. You know, there's a bunch. Like basically now, every single DC property in live action is now connected to these shows.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Like even Lucifer, which I just started watching because of this crossover, because I liked his character so much just from like the 45-second.
Yeah.
Like a 45-second interaction. I'm like, I like this guy. He's got an interesting charm to it. I think I'll start watching the show Lucifer, and then I didn't realize at the time though that show now is technically part of the Arrowverse because of, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but yeah.
So basically, here's what happened in the show. As the crisis begins, the antimatter wave destroys countless parallel universes. Meanwhile, on Earth 38, Brainy detects the antimatter wave approaching Argo City, prompting Kara Danvers to warn her mother, Alora Zor-El, her cousin Clark Kent, and his wife Lois Lane. Clark and Lois narrowly send their son Jonathan off into an escape pod, just as the wave wipes out Argo and Alora, and we assume at this point Lois and Clark both die. But Harbinger, who is Lila, is now Harbinger. She collects Oliver and Mia from Lian Yu, Barry from Central City, Kate Kane from Gotham, and Sarah Lance and Ray Palmer from Star City, and brings all of them to Earth 38. While Harbinger also rescues the Kents from Argo, Alora unfortunately died. As Harbinger briefs the gathered heroes, the threat of the anti-monitor, the monitor raises a quantum tower to impede the antimatter wave, while the DEO and Lena Luthor work to evacuate inhabitants of Earth 38 to Earth 1. Dun dun dun. After learning Jonathan's pod landed in Earth 16, Lois, Sarah, and Brainy leave to get him while the others stay behind to fend off the Anti-Monitor's forces. In preparation for his death, Oliver passes the mantle of Green Arrow to Mia, his daughter, by the way. If you're listening to this and you haven't seen these shows, stop and go start, season 1 of Arrow. And then
because there's so much.
And then catch up to us in a couple years, okay?
Yeah, it took me an entire year to, over a year, I think, because I think you had me watch the first episode of Arrow with you back in like October of 2018, and I just finally finished season 7. Yeah, I finally finished season 7 like a week before season 8 started. Like I was really close to the fire. But I was watching all the shows, not just Arrow. So. Yeah.
So now what happens next is when Oliver learns that Barry is fated to die, however, he argues with the Monitor over the deal they made last year in the previous crossover, which was that basically the deal there was that Oliver was going to sacrifice himself to save Kara and Barry.
Right.
Yeah. Oliver basically what happens next, the heroes make their last stand and at the tower defend off an army of shadow demons.
Ooh.
Yeah. They're basically like those things in Harry Potter.
Yeah, I was gonna say they remind me of Dementors.
Yeah, that's what.
And I don't know why they're called. Yeah, Dementor. I don't know why they're called Shadow Demons because, like, why are they demons? Like, I thought it was just anti-man. Anyways, I got a song for that. Shadow Demons. Whatever. I don't have a song really, but whatever.
That was good.
Yeah, I was out of tune, but okay.
So, basically, Oliver ends up temporarily nullifying the Monitor's powers and stays behind to ensure that the Exodus succeeds. Back on Earth 1, Lois's team returns with Jonathan before the Monitor brings a dying Oliver to say goodbye. And this was not how he was supposed to die, according to the Monitor. So then Nash Wells shows up, and he's now Pariah. He's a Pariah, which is his name now because he released the Anti-Monitor and appears and announces that events have changed and everything is doomed. With Earth 1 Legends unavailable because they refuse to do crossovers. Harbinger travels to Earth 74 to recruit that version of Mick Rory, who is very similar to our Mick Rory.
Yeah, same personality.
Yeah. So the heroes can use the Wave Rider as their base of operations. In the wake of Oliver's death, which he cannot undo because of the Anti-Monitor's growing power, the Monitor consults the Book of Destiny, which we were introduced to last year during the crossover, and learns of the existence of 7 paragons who could turn the tide. 4 of them are Kara, the Paragon of Hope, Sarah, the Paragon of Destiny, the Paragon of Truth, another Superman who has suffered more than any mortal man, and the Paragon of Courage, who is described as the Bat of the Future.
Yeah. The Bat. I wonder what that means.
Yeah. Clark, Lois, and Iris locate the second Superman on Earth 96 through though Lex uses the Book of Destiny to mind control Clark 96 until he is knocked out by Lois, Kate and Kara travel to Earth 99, where the latter fails to convince an elderly, crippled Bruce Wayne, played by Kevin Conroy, the voice of Bruce Wayne in the animated series. On his Earth, he became a killer. Bruce is in turn accidentally killed in a heated confrontation between Kate and Kara. And him, obviously, yeah. Elsewhere on Earth 18, Sarah, Barry, Mia, and John Constantine take Oliver's body to a Lazarus pit in an attempt to rescue him, but accumulating antimatter across the multiverse prevents them from bringing his soul back. Now back on the Wave Rider, the Monitor tasks Ray with building a Paragon detector, you know, like you do.
Easy stuff, easy work.
Yeah. which in turn identifies Kate Kane as the true paragon of courage. Unbeknownst to everyone, Harbinger is secretly contacted by the Anti-Monitor. Then, with Cisco Ramon's help, Ray Palmer's Paragon detector identifies Barry as the Paragon of Love and John Johns as the Paragon of Honor. And up until now, never seen character, Ivy Town scientist Ryan Choi as the Paragon of Humanity.
Ooh.
In the comic books, Ryan Choi is the second Adam.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he becomes Adam after Ray Palmer in the comic books. So
okay,
yeah. So then Iris Ray and then Ralph Dibny, a.k.a. Elongated Man, attempt to recruit a reluctant Choi, who eventually compiles when Iris assures him that ordinary humans can be superheroes too. After the Monitor restores Cisco's powers, to his dismay as well, Barry and Caitlin Snow meet up with Pariah and the Anti-Monitor's chamber beneath Central City, where they find an antimatter cannon powered by Barry Allen, a.k.a. the Flash of Earth 90, played by John Wesley Shipp. When,
and
yeah, go ahead.
As they are.
What's that?
I said, as he is wont to play the Flash, John Wesley Shipp, you know, basic,
Yeah.
you know, standard stuff, which is, which he made his first appearance in Elseworlds crossover last year.
Yeah.
Was his first appearance.
The cannon goes critical, so Pariah recruits Jefferson, a.k.a. Black Lightning, from the recently destroyed Earth 73 to contain the energy, which I thought was kind of weird. But anyways.
Yeah, I hope we get to talk about that part. Yeah,
Yeah, we can go over a few things in here. Our Barry then volunteers to destroy the cannon, which would result in his prophesized death. However, Barry 90 stops him, claiming the Monitor didn't specify which Flash would die in the crisis. and takes Barry's place. Meanwhile, Constantine, Mia, and Diggle visit Lucifer on Earth 666.
Ugh. Get it?
Yep. To help in entering purgatory and retrieve Oliver's soul. Before they can leave, Jim Corrigan appears so he can bestow onto Oliver the Spectre's power. I thought it was funny in that scene too, because there is a Jim Corrigan on Lucifer, or no, on Constantine, the TV show. I mean, and yeah, I mean on Constantine, and then Constantine says on there, when the guy introduces himself as Jim Corrigan, he says, "Not the one I know," or something like that. So, yeah.
Wow.
So, probably because they couldn't get the other actor for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Corrigan, he bestows onto Oliver the power of the Spectre. So Oliver accepts and becomes the Spectre now, no longer the Green Arrow. And Constantine's team is sent back to the Wave Rider without Oliver. While the heroes regroup, the Anti-Monitor sends a brainwashed Harbinger to kill the Monitor so he can absorb his power and finish destroying the multiverse. Before the remaining heroes on Earth 1 are destroyed, Pariah sends the Paragons to the Vanishing Point to keep them safe, where they witness Lex replace Superman 96 with himself using a page from the Book of Destiny. Okay, so that's what happened before the break that we...
So,
yeah.
You got all that?
Yes.
Simple stuff.
So I was just doing that mainly to recap the audience that's listening, if they are still listening, if you're not bored by me reading a Wikipedia page. And,
you kind of put your own spin on it, so...
Yeah. And also to catch both Matt and I up here so we know what, we missed in the first 3 episodes. I mean, not missed, but, may have forgotten. So,
yeah.
Do you want to take a break now, Matt, and then we'll come back and talk about the last 2 episodes? And,
sure.
And any thoughts we have on the previous episodes?
Sure.
Okay, we'll be right back. Hi, folks. This is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
manager Matthew Haas.
You got promoted?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay, anyways, folks, do you like the show Superstore? Well, I don't know. I asked the folks and nobody's answering me.
Because they're not here.
Oh,
but we love
damn it. Yeah, we love it, though. Okay, folks, if you like it as much as we do, you're really going to like the Super Story podcast, which is a podcast where Matthew and I go episode by episode and give our little opinions and thoughts on it. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. Just depends on how we're feeling.
Yeah.
And, so if you like this podcast and like our little crazy banter,
then you should definitely check this out. Or I might get sad. And when I get sad, it gets pretty sad.
Yeah,
so
I can't deal with him when he's sad.
Yeah, no one can really. So,
yeah. So check out Super Story Podcast right here where you get this podcast, Super Story Podcast.
A respectable minister takes charge and leads head-on.
Minister Dobble Trike may be the foremost politician of textiles.
As a minister, I have the utmost sensitivity to these situations, and if anyone's sensibilities were harmed, I would have sensed it.
But his petty ambitions will almost certainly lead us to unknown danger.
How dare you, sir! Unknown danger has its potential for profit. It's exotic.
You can hear Minister Trike and his antics in the radio comedy Magus Elgar.
Visit MagusElgar.com to download your copy today.
And we are back.
Back
in black.
Back in black. don't know the lyrics to that song.
I don't either, and I don't want to.
I know, but you hate AC/DC.
AC/DC is like my least favorite band. Anyways, maybe not my least favorite, but they're up there. Anyways, so we're all caught up to what happened this previous week. When we get back, we start out with we find out what happened and what ended up creating the Anti-Monitor. It was back 10,000 years ago. A young Marnovu, aka the Monitor, was experimenting with time travel to witness the birth of the universe, only to accidentally end up in the antimatter universe and reveal the multiverse's existence to the Anti-Monitor. So he somehow accidentally created him in a way.
Yeah.
So, so then, in the months since the multiverse was destroyed, we're back at the vanishing point, and the Paragons have struggled to survive. And then we see Oliver. He is with Jim Corrigan and learns to become the Spectres, how to use the Spectres' powers and all that stuff. Also, when we're back in the... Before that, I'm sorry, I forgot. Barry had disappeared because he was trying to go into the Speed Force, but was unable to. He comes back, it's been months for everybody else, but only seconds for him.
Right. He's like, I've only been gone for 2 seconds. And they're like, no. I mean, there's no Speed Force to go into. The universe is dead. I mean, you know.
Yeah, this is where things get a little confusing for me. But anyways,
yeah, there's a lot of it.
So, then Oliver heads to the vanishing point, like you do.
You know, as Spectre with a weird modulated voice changer thing.
Yeah. So he heads to the vanishing point to help rescue the Paragons and strengthen Barry's powers. So basically, how he does that, he taps Barry on the head. And it's like, doop, you have powers now.
Yeah, he's like, I've just unlocked your potential, and Barry's like, by touching my head.
Yeah, at least they brought it up, you know.
Yeah, that was funny.
It's like, I'm touching your head to do it because we probably ran out of special effects in our budget. And,
yeah.
So, Barry, with his, Barry drops off, Kara, Choi, and Lex back in time on Maltus, the alien planet, to, basically, so they can try to stop Marnovu from creating the Anti-Monitor or whatever. It was kind of contrived. Anyways,
yeah, it's different than the comic book, but maybe I'll say something about that later. But
you can say it now if you want to too, because we're kind of just going through this. So yeah.
All right. Well, just a short point then. It just apart from the comic books. I mean, I haven't read all the comics. I have read, that story, and basically, it's not the Monitor that does this in the comic books. It's a whole different character named Chrono, who is of the same planet that the Green Lantern people are from, like the Guardians of the, I think what they call the Guardians of the Universe or something like that.
Yeah.
He was of that race who guard the Green Lantern, the green whatever that ring or whatever, and this was like 13 billion years ago though when he did this, not 10,000 years ago. Again, I knew they're gonna change stuff up because that's what they do for TV and stuff. So I wasn't mad necessarily, but it was a little bit different because what that guy did was he accidentally created both the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor through his failed experiment, whereas in this show it makes it seem like the Monitor already lived as just like a regular person, like not as a cosmic being, and then he accidentally created the Anti-Monitor, whereas in the comic books they're both cosmic beings, but it's whatever, you know.
Yeah. But you gotta change things for TV anyways, I mean, I think, you know.
Yeah.
So, what we have next is, after, Barry drops those people off, Kara and Lex and, Ryan Choi, they, basically, okay, let me see what happens. Okay, they try to convince Novu to not to go through with his plans. So then we have a situation where Barry has to go through the Speed Force and retrieve the rest of the Paragons.
Yeah.
I was not understanding what this had to do with anything, but somehow...
It's because the Anti-Monitor knew what he was doing, and then I guess he captured or was gonna kill them with antimatter, and he was only able to get Kara, Ryan, and Lex to that planet, and then Oliver, as Spectre, was able to somehow put them into the speed. I don't get it either.
Yeah, I did not understand this at all, and I've watched the episode twice, and I still...
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I don't understand, because you'd think that if anyone's going to be able to manipulate the Speed Force, it would be Barry, because he's the Flash. And I know the Spectre has magical powers, but magic is different than science, so whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
But anyways, so he has to, like, go back and find these people in, like, these kind of, like, semi-important points in the history of our TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
And so while Barry's in the Speed Force, he runs into a very surprising guest that they kept under wraps really well, and that is Barry Allen, a.k.a. Ezra Miller from the DCEU.
Yeah.
So that connects our modern movies to this era. I mean, yeah.
Oh my God! So then technically, Batman versus Superman is now part of the Arrowverse. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically, the only movies they didn't really connect are, for some reason, the Christopher Nolan Batman movies.
Yeah, the good ones.
Yeah.
That wasn't me.
No, I know, but they didn't seem to connect. It's like they didn't connect those, and there's like a couple other ones probably. A couple other. I mean, they also didn't connect Gotham, the TV series, from what I can tell.
Oh, okay.
But
and also,
yeah,
you know, Aurelius Dumbledore. He also plays Aurelius Dumbledore in that awesome movie, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Don't forget that one, okay?
Oh yeah. But basically, it's really interesting too. People are. I listened to a podcast the other day about Crisis, and in that episode, they were kind of complaining that there wasn't enough action in these things because they had to pay for. They were complaining and trying to say that it was because they had to pay for Ezra Miller.
Oh.
Which I then read an article right after that it talked about how they got Ezra Miller. Basically, the Warner Brothers called up Mark Guggenheim, the executive producer of the shows, and said they had already shot everything. They had finished the episodes. They had the whole Crisis filmed at that point, and they said, "Hey, is there any way you can fit Ezra Miller into your Crisis?" And Mark's like, "Of course." And then, but he, which I think is really cool though. He says, "Let me talk to Grant first." So he went and talked to Grant Gustin and said, "Would you be offended if we had Ezra Miller in this?" Which is pretty cool because he didn't want to, step on the Flash's toes.
Right.
Which you can't do because he's so fast. You can't really step on
Right, exactly.
Yeah, anyways,
you could try.
Yeah, but, and Grant was all for it. He thought it was a really cool idea. And then they shot the scene. They snuck Ezra Miller up to Vancouver and shot the scene and kept it very secret, and nobody knew. Not even the other actors in the show.
Wow!
Like the only person that really knew was Grant and the crew that was available, on set.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was that supposed to be about though? Because I thought he was supposed to be talking he was supposed to be seeing memories and stuff like that. So what was that supposed to convey? Him meeting a different version of himself?
I got a little confused on that, but I think from what I've read is basically that was he's because he's out of time, so he's actually traveling in time when he's going into the Speed Force.
Okay.
And basically what ended up happening is Ezra's Flash kind of ended up in the Speed Force too and was kind of freaking out because he'd never been there before.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he was confused. And thing is, in the movies, he's never called the Flash. The coolest thing in that scene is basically, I think, our Barry gives that Barry his name.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like, "You're another Flash," and then he's like, "Flash." So
okay.
So I think
I got that because he did. Sorry, go ahead.
What this gives me hope for, and I think it would be really cool, is if they do make that Flash movie, Flashpoint, that they're trying to make with Ezra Miller. It'd be really cool if they had this scene in that movie.
Yeah.
He ends up in the Speed Force and fucks up, and does Flashpoint. But while he's in there, he ends up running into Grant Gustin.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool. I really hope that happens. And then I won't be as pissed about the fact that Grant's not the Flash in the movies.
Right.
Because I think Grant is the best Flash there's ever been. I mean, John Wesley Shipp was good, but,
Well, I agree. I'm just calling him Barry. That's how he just, personality-wise, that's what I always envisioned the Flash would act like. Kind of like how, John Cryer plays the perfect Lex Luthor. He's not a bumbling buffoon. He is funny and sarcastic, but there's an edge to him.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree that John is the best Lex I think we've ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, some people will say Michael Rosenbaum on Smallville, but I haven't really watched a lot of Smallville, so I can't really talk to that. I mean, I've watched some, and I thought he was good on there, and I love Michael Rosenbaum as a person. His Inside of You podcast is awesome. So if you haven't listened to that, check it out.
Cool.
Yeah. The episode with Rainn Wilson was really cool. Anyways, just a little bit, aside. So anyways, so we got to see Ezra Miller. That was cool. But then basically what ends up happening then is Barry goes through and he ends up picking up the rest of the Paragons. Like you do.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot of MacGuffins in this whole, like, not just the crisis, but even like the build up, because like from the beginnings of season 8 of Arrow and season 6 of Flash, it's building up into a lot of MacGuffins. Like Oliver has to go to like Earth 2 to get like a dwarf star thing. I mean, it's a lot of like stuff like that.
Very true. A lot of MacGuffins and things, things that just don't make, I don't know.
Yeah, some of it doesn't make sense. But,
I mean, I still love these shows and I'm entertained by them, but sometimes you're just like, that's kind of contrived. Anyways,
yeah, there is some things like that.
So, anyways, the Paragons end up once Barry retrieves everyone. Basically, they end up realizing that they can destroy the Anti-Monitor, or they try to. But they basically, because they realize that they can't stop the Anti-Monitor from being created, because regardless, he's going to be created in some universe in the multiverse.
Right. I mean, there's literally infinite, so all you got to do is find one Mar Navu who's going to go through with the experiment. I mean, it's not hard.
Yeah. You can't stop them all. And
right.
So the Paragons battle the Anti-Monitor and his Shadow Demons. The Anti-Monitor and his Shadow Demons. I'm going to create a band called that. Anyways,
that's a great name. The Anti-Monitor and the Shadow Demons. That's a great band name.
We'll just play songs about DC properties.
Yeah. every song's about a different character, like a song about Firestorm, about
And so then Oliver uses his Spectre powers to restore the multiverse. With the Paragons providing additional assistance via Lex Books of Destiny, and they all kind of just stare off like the Care Bears. I'm stealing that from somebody I heard that from, but it's like a Care Bear stare right there. Like they're all like, we've got these Paragon powers. We're going to combine and, become like a Megazord. And, I don't know. It's just like, but
yeah,
it's like just weird. But anyways, they also have assistance via Lex's Book of Destiny page. As a result, however, Oliver dies a second and final time in Barry's arms, like you do. Oh, anyways.
I know. That's sad.
It was cool and all, but it was kind of, I don't know, kind of a anticlimactic death because he had already died once before.
Right. It was. Even that one was kind of, that was straight from the comic books for the first one. That was.
Yeah.
He was fighting the Shadow Demons, which again is kind of like one of those things where it's like, sometimes it sucks, but then it's also like, well, sometimes even the greatest hero does die in an anticlimactic fashion where you're just fighting off, somebody's goons as opposed to like the big main bad guy or whatever.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It was cool though. So then everybody wakes up in a newly recreated universe. The Paragons discover they are the only ones to remember the crisis, and in this process, Earth 1, which is Barry and Oliver's Earth and everything, Earth 38, which is Supergirl's Earth, and Earth 73, which was Black Lightning's Earth, are all merged into one composite Earth designated as Earth Prime.
Yeah.
Among the other changes throughout the multiverse, they're the only ones who remember, the Paragons are. So John uses his psionic powers to bring their allies up to speed. So he basically does a little Oliver-like touch on the head and basically can.
Instead, he touches him on the temple, not the forehead.
Yeah,
that's different.
Yeah. And so then they all are caught up to speed and know what's going on, and they discover that the Anti-Monitor is still alive, and plotting to renew his destruction of the multiverse. This was after, actually, first off, we had a little Bebo situation. You remember the Bebo situation?
What's that? I didn't hear what you said.
We had a Bebo situation.
Oh, yeah, it's right. Giant Bebo returned. If you don't remember, in season 3 of Legends of Tomorrow, Bebo plays a pretty big role in that entire series, that entire season. And at the end of that season, because they're doing the DC version of the Infinity Gauntlet by having totems, which was similar but not the same, but basically you had to get all 6 totems to work together to create something powerful enough to defeat Lawless, or Malice, as he corrected people, the Time Demon, who was creating time anachronisms in order to basically just damage time to the point that he could escape his time prison. Yeah, these shows are crazy. And then they eventually turned into a giant Bebo. Bebo's like a toy, like a fake, their version of Elmo or something like that.
It's kind of like Elmo meets Teddy Ruxpin meets Furby.
It's like this cute little blue toy, and they defeat Malice with that. But then, someone is using Bebo to terrorize. I think it's Central City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways. Some magician guy is using Bebo in this one. Tried to, destroy it. So they all try to figure out what's up, and then they destroy Bebo. Which was kind of funny and fun.
Yeah.
But the first part though, one thing I wanted to talk about before they it was pretty cool when they realized that they were on the same Earth.
Mm-hmm.
When Kara goes to see what's going on, and she is fighting the Weather Witch, which is from Barry's Earth.
Right.
And then Barry walks up and he says, "Sorry, this is one of mine." And which I thought was funny. And then they realize they're on the same Earth. And then this old guy comes up and talks. They ask him about have we what's he basically says, yeah, there's a you guys always been together. Yeah. And cool thing about that guy who played the old guy is Marv Wolfman, who is the writer of the comic book Crisis on Infinite Earths. So they got the comic book writer to do a cameo.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, certain things have changed on these Earths now. They end up finding out that they can. They end up destroying the Anti-Monitor by shrinking him down. I'm not fully understanding how that worked, but it did.
Well, it's like the Ant-Man type of thing, the quantum realm.
Oh, okay.
But the way he described, the way Ryan Choi described, the paragon of humanity, he said that he'd be shrinking for all eternity. Like, he's always getting smaller. Like, it would get to the point that, like, it would even be beyond the quantum realm where Ant-Man's at, because it just keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking till, like, that's got to be, like, terrifying. But I wanted to say something. You forgot the really big thing so far. What happened in the beginning of this episode when Kara is invited to go to a press event?
Oh yeah, I was going to bring that up in a second here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kara's at this press event for the Nobel Peace Prize, and the person accepting the award is Lex Luthor.
Ooh.
So that'll probably be an interesting story going through the rest of the season, or at least a couple episodes of Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
So now, in this world, Lex actually owns the DEO somehow. And has always been a good guy in everybody's eyes. So in Earth Prime, that's what happened. So, anyways, so like I said, they shrank the Anti-Monitor. Once it's finished, sometime later, Barry, Kara, Sarah, Kate, Clark, and John, and Jefferson, hold a memorial service for Oliver. There was a funny scene there too, like where Black Lightning says something like, does this happen often, or something like these crazy. And then Kate says, "Don't worry, I was the new kid last year." And they come together and create a League of Heroes to protect the New World in Oliver's memory. In a building that is a warehouse that was once that Barry owns, because it was once owned by Star Labs, and which we had seen this warehouse in a previous Crisis. I can't remember which one, but they have this really cool round table with chairs with each of their symbols on it. What was that?
What's that? I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Something cracked. Something just came in. That's weird.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I'm getting somebody else's phone call here. Anyways, so they create that, and then they basically have it created the Hall of Justice, which is what the warehouse looks like from the cartoon. And we also see a cage with the name Gleek on it. And Gleek was a little monkey alien creature in the animated Super Friends TV series. So, and that's where we are.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a break, Matt?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll take a break, and then we'll be right back with some of our thoughts on the episodes.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, this is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Matthew Haas.
We just wanted to tell you about our great podcast called Super. It's called All Too Real. And on that show, what do we do, Matt?
We watch biopics, and then we talk about whether or not the movie matched up with the real story or not.
So it
was a lot more exciting than that, though.
Yeah, so we analyze the real story and the real story. Get it?
Real.
Yeah, they're spelled differently, folks. You can guess which one I said which way. Anyways, so sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. But we talk about great movies like Shattered Glass and The Social Network and a futile and stupid gesture, among others. Those are some of the ones that we've covered so far, and we're going to cover a lot more. So please subscribe on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your great, fun podcasts. And be sure to share it with your friends.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And make sure you're not afraid to get all too real. Bye-bye.
And we are back. So Matt, what thoughts did you have on the whole crisis? Anything stand out to you? Good, bad, indifferent, whatever?
Well, I really liked it a lot. I mean, in general, just the sheer ambition of it. 5 episodes, and you could count the Black Lightning episode as sort of like maybe like a 2.5. So
yeah.
It's a lot of material to really just kind of take in. And I liked the multiverse aspect of the whole show. So like, it is going to be kind of strange going into like a single universe now. But it's change is good because we've been officially dealing with the multiverse since season 2 of The Flash, and it was teased in the very first episode of the first season of The Flash when they showed a newspaper article that says Flash vanishes during crisis. So
yeah.
They've been teasing this idea for a really, really long time, and technically last year's crossover was just all in preparation for this year's crossover. So technically it's really like 8 episodes, altogether. I mean, if you count Elseworlds, because I did feel that Elseworlds was kind of a letdown, but I realized that it was meant to prepare for, the bigger one.
Yeah.
And, but like, there are some issues I have, like just like the costumes. Like, I really thought the Anti-Monitor almost looked like some like animatronic like thing from like Major Magic a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like he just looked stupid to me. Like I was expecting someone that like looked like really scary, and then we get let's make way for this like weird looking dude with like a tube in his costume or something. I don't know. I thought that was kind of iffy. The whole Barry Allen for Earth 90 thing I didn't understand, because so it's like, you might have some thoughts on this too, but so like he's got Barry the Flash from Earth 90, basically forcing him to run on his treadmill for like eternity, essentially, to power up all this antimatter energy to destroy all the planets. And then when they find him through the help of Pariah, Cisco uses his Vive powers to blast, Earth 90 Barry out of the thing, and he's like, "Oh, thanks for the reprieve, kid, but I need to get back on there because if I don't, he's triggered a fail-safe so that it destroys all of the multiverse at once." It's like, well, why? Oh, so we got Anti-Monitor to make sure the heroes have enough time to thwart his plans. Like what? Like. I don't know. That seemed like very contrived. Like,
yeah. I mean, the whole treadmill thing is actually right out of the comic books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is a treadmill, but I mean the whole Barry 90 and all that stuff. Kind of, it's just, I don't know. It was kind of the whole Jefferson thing was kind of weird, bringing him in. I understand why they wanted to and they needed to. But it just seemed kind of weird. Like there didn't really seem a point for Jefferson to be there.
Oh yeah, that part. Yeah, I know he was literally just brought in by Pariah at the last second. Like, oh, you need to help. Okay, the treadmill thing was from the comics. Okay, fine. But what I don't understand though is if the Anti-Monitor's plan is just to destroy multiverse, why does he need to do it in steps? And then if the Flash quits running on the treadmill, he's just going to destroy everything at once. Well, why not just destroy everything at once? Why not be that the main plan, and then the backup plan is, oh, well, I can't do it all at once. I got to do it piecemeal. Why would it be, I'm going to start out doing it piecemeal, but if that fails, I'm going to do it all at once? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
It was It's like you said, it's full of MacGuffins, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of made me feel really weird just watching that scene where I'm like, I got to go back on there because he's going to destroy everything all at once. It's like, but he's the one that put you on the treadmill, right? Like, so I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, anyway, I don't want to harp on the bad things, but, like, I did like the whole thing where they brought in that clip from the Flash 1990 series.
Yeah.
And basically, like, said, like, oh, well, that series is part of the Arrowverse now, too.
Yeah, and I mean, it basically created the whole, I think they did that after, it was an afterthought from what I read, too. Like, they didn't originally have that in there, but they got one of their editors out there to scour all the episodes and find something really cool to put in there, which I thought was cool. The thing is, it's like, okay, the Earth Prime is cool, and there still is a multiverse.
Okay.
It isn't like they wiped out anything, because we see at the very end you got, like, you know, the Doom Patrol and Titans and Stargirl and Brandon Routh's Superman, which there is a rumor that Brandon Routh might be getting a limited series as Superman.
Huh.
Which could be interesting.
Yeah.
But they already have another Superman show coming out, so I don't know. But what they were saying is that might be something on, like, HBO Max, like on the streaming service. That's coming out, because they've already got a Green Lantern show coming to HBO Max, and which Greg Berlanti is writing and producing, the creator of these shows. Yeah, so no word on who's going to be Green Lantern or anything. I think it'd be cool if it was John Diggle. That's just me, but
yeah, it would be.
But I don't know. It was interesting. I mean, I loved all the cameos; those were cool. So we forgot to talk about in the first part we had Tom Welling from Smallville, which was really cool. Who his character had given up his powers.
Right.
Which was kind of cool. I mean, that was a cool, unexpected cameo. I mean, it was expected. I knew after I found out about it, but you know, I didn't think Tom Welling would ever do that. But that was pretty cool. And we got to see Lois from that world too, and find out that they had 2 kids. They
right. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because I was say, and Lois from that show is also the actress who plays Alora now. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Laurel?
Alora.
Oh, Alora. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You see, I thought that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's weird, but because that would be his Anne, but
yeah.
They kind of joke about incest a lot in these episodes, like when Kara's like sees Ray Palmer's version of Clark, whatever.
Yeah,
Ray Palmer's version of Superman.
Brandon Routh's Superman. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like checking him out, and then like I think it's Batwoman or someone's like be careful that he's kind of your cousin or whatever.
At least they make fun of it and don't just ignore it like the Star Wars movies. But
right, they're just like, oh, whatever it is.
And and at the very end it was kind of interesting too when they showed things changed or whatever. One of the other little cool things was that changed was John Diggle has 2 kids now.
Yeah,
because Sarah disappeared in Flashpoint and was replaced by John Jr. But now he has both John and Sarah. So
that's very interesting, because that could have a lot of implications for all of season 7 and season 8 of Arrow, vis-a-vis Mia and Connor and whatnot. Like if that changes anything for the future, you know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, because they're supposed to be doing a possible spin-off of called Green Arrow and the Black Canaries, or in the Canaries, or something like that. Yeah. Anyways, Also, we find out that Lois and Clark have 2 kids now. They used to have 1. So,
right.
My feeling on this is, even though Oliver's dead, he needs to start paying child support because he created 2 kids.
Wait, Oliver's dad or him?
No, Oliver's dead now.
Oh, yeah, at least Oliver's dad.
No, because even though he is dead, he created he brought Sarah back, and somehow gave Lois and Clark another son. So, I'm thinking he owes child support to these people because, I mean, kids aren't cheap.
No, I don't think there's much money in the Spectre business, though. So I don't.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. You know, I don't know. Maybe Barry has to pay for it now because he's left, and I don't know. I'm just trying to.
Yeah. Or they can all raise the kids together, like in a commune setting or something.
Yeah. But I mean, Barry's kid died, so it's like. Yeah,
or did she? I mean, I don't know, because that was a weird. I mean, that was like a different version of herself altogether. So it's like, did she even ever exist? I mean, that just got. I'm gonna get mad now because I hate Eobard's song so much.
And so that's one of the things that disappointed me. I thought Eobard was going to be part of this, and he wasn't in the crossover at all. So
yeah, because they teased that last year, where he's like, "Oh, we'll meet each other in our next crisis," and he even winks at him after he says it too, like to really be on the nose about it. Like,
I think that was just like the crisis is coming. We're gonna, and also it might have been something where they didn't know what was going on. I think a lot of things changed with John Cryer's Lex Luthor, because I think that a lot of the things that Lex did in this probably would have been done by Eobard if they wouldn't have been able to get John Cryer.
Right.
That's my feeling on it. Plus, you already had Tom Cavanaugh playing Nash, so it was like, I don't know.
I mean, he's played so many characters in this show. Plus, too, Eobard Thawne already did that, though, in the season 2 of Legends with the whole sphere of reality or whatever. Yeah. So that whole thing of like creating reality where he's like the hero or whatever. Yeah. Like,
well, I don't know if the whole story would have been the same, but I think that basically they rewrote things just basically because they were able to get John Cryer, which I'm happy about because, like I said, he's the best Lex Luthor ever. Anyways,
he's great. He's no match for, Lenny Luthor in Superman 4, but, he's a close second.
Well, yeah, of course. Any other major thoughts about the episodes?
Yeah, I mean, just like, and just in general, like, how like, high the stakes were. Like, literally every single universe is being destroyed, and, like, they even had like an actual monitor, monitor actually showing like the Earth disappear on their like computer screens, like whenever the wave of antimatter hits a particular Earth or whatever. You do have, I think personally, I don't know because they haven't, season 5 has not picked up yet, Supergirl yet, but I think they showed the beginnings of Lena Luthor kind of maybe getting away from villain status a little bit because she even said, of course, if the entire multiverse is in danger, I'll help you save it. But then again, you and everyone else has always looked at me so lowly or whatever, to think of the worst of me or whatever type of thing. Like,
yeah, I did see the preview for the next episode of Supergirl, the little trailer for it, and it looks like Lex and her might be teaming up. So who knows?
Okay.
Yeah, because but she remembers everything. I don't know if John gave her back all the memories or what happened.
Oh yeah, okay.
But she
Well,
she actually remembers, and she's still, from what I can tell, it looks like she's still probably mad at Kara and everybody for lying to her.
right. I mean, that's understandable. Well, I think she'll probably at some point, because, I think Lena has been lied to her entire life, basically, by her entire family. She's finally found, some new friends, and then they keep this huge secret from her. Although, at the same time, I was rewatching season 3 of Supergirl with my dad, and, she's kept secrets from Kara. I mean, she lied about not having kryptonite, so it's not like she's just like this innocent victim, but whatever.
No.
Just, whatever, that type of thing. But but I did like, I really liked the season, the episodes 3 through 5. I did like the whole, like, Bruce Wayne as, like, turned into, like, a hardened killer, basically, because, like, on Earth 99, because, like, even his house just looks creepy. It's like this old mansion that's just falling apart. There's like, what's the word? Not weeds, but like the weeds that attach to your house. What's the name of that? I forgot the name of it.
Ivy or something?
Yeah, ivy is just like growing all over the front part of the house. Like
maybe it was poison ivy.
Oh, get it? Because, I wonder if that was meant to be kind of like a little subtle. I didn't even think about that. A little subtle hint, And he basically kind of like, he's kind of like a cautionary tale, because he even tells Kate, his Batwoman on Earth 1, saying like, it only starts with killing one person, and then you get a taste for it, and then you kill another, and then you kill another, and then before you know it, you're pretty much killing every villain, no matter how bad they are. Like before it was like, I'll only kill the worst of the worst, and then it just like, there is no bar anymore of like who deserves to die,
Yeah.
And he ends up killing Superman in that Earth. Actually, that was what caused the fight between him and Kara, because she had found out that he had Clark Kent's glasses, I think, or something like that, as a souvenir.
Yeah,
because that's the other thing.
That has a basis in the comic books too, because there is I think like an alternate world where that happens and stuff. So that's kind of cool that they did that.
Yeah, so that episode was really cool. I like that whole darkness aspect, because like even when they walk to the front door, it's all dark, and the dude who's like his Alfred, not Alf, I think an Alfred, no, not Alfred, like the dude who's basically was it Lucius? I forgot his name, Lucius something or
Luke Fox.
Luke Fox. Well, like in Batwoman,
Luke is like basically Batwoman's right hand man, and
and
the son of Lucius Fox, who was in the Nolan verse, he was played by Morgan Freeman. Yeah.
Right. So he plays that same character in Earth 99, but he's like just like Bruce Wayne. He's like a really rough.
Yeah.
Like in Batwoman, he's like a nerd, but here he's like got like big muscles and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, and I think that was probably, it might have been the actor just being like, "Hey, I got a good body. Let's show it off." No,
I'm tired of playing the nerd. Like yeah. Because they kind of did that with Ray Palmer too for a while, because like he was like a nerdy guy, and then like they show him like working out one episode, and I think it was Arrow, and then Felicity Smoke is watching him work out, because he's doing the same exact workout technique that Oliver does, and she's like, "Oh God, I think I have a type," or something like that.
So before we close things up here, what was your favorite part of the whole crossover?
I think oh man, that's a lot. I mean, I guess probably the at the end of episode 4, when Oliver or Inspector is fighting with the Anti-Monitor, and like he basically does that thing where he like shoots out energy out of his eyes or whatever, and then basically like explodes the anti-monitor, I guess, in the battle, and that's when he creates the new new universe. That I think that scene, as Spectre / Oliver. I don't know, because he seems like he's both Spectre and Oliver. Like because like he still, his voice is all fucked up because of some weird effect they have on him, but like, and he does kind of talk like almost like you would imagine how a ghost speak. Like there's not a whole lot of emotion, but like he still says the things that Oliver would say. Like when he told Barry to go back into Speed Force, he said, "Run, Barry, run." That was what he used to say to him. So
yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, I think probably like my favorite thing was just, I mean, there's a couple things. Like, I mean, I loved all the crossovers of characters, which was kind of sweet. I mean, we even got to see Swamp Thing at the end. But I think the whole I really like the developing relationship between Kate and Kara. The developing friendship. It's like the world's finest sort of friendship sort of thing, like what Batman and Superman have in the comics. And I think that's going to be really cool now that they're on the same Earth. It'll be interesting to see if they have like smaller crossovers in the future where Kara shows up on Batwoman and Kate shows up on Supergirl or something,
Right, yeah. I think, I watched the episode twice, and I don't remember if I heard it right, but when Batwoman shows up in, I think it's episode 5, does Kara, because she gets all excited, does she say, "Oh, look, there's 2 of us," meaning women, or did I hear that right, or did she say something else?
I don't know. I'd have to rewatch that.
Okay, because like she got all, because I was just wondering because like they kind of like do the whole like woman power thing or whatever on that show, and I was thinking since she's like the only woman there so far because
maybe that's what it is. Yeah, but you do.
And
have
then like
Sarah
all of
too,
a sudden,
but yeah.
Oh, okay, Sarah would. Okay, yes, I forgot. I just wondered because I thought she said, "Oh, look, there's 2 of us," and then she goes like, "Oh, sorry," like because she's hugging Barry as she's saying it or something. Like I don't know if I heard it wrong or not, but
and little interesting stray things too. Like in my mind is like I think that now the way it appears is National and Central City are like basically across the river from each other.
Okay.
So that means Barry and Kara aren't that far away from each other. So
right.
I don't know where Gotham is in this situation. But the other thing I liked was I liked a lot of the little excitement from certain characters throughout the thing, like when Black Lightning notices that there's Superman in the one episode, and he's like, so the whole Superman thing's real, like, which is cool because I noticed in like some of these episodes of Black Lightning in the past, they actually had a picture of Jefferson on his desk somewhere where he was wearing a Superman T-shirt. So what I'm thinking is in his Earth, originally, like, Superman was a comic book character. Like in in our real world, and then now it's like on another Earth he's real, so it's like what the fuck,
Yeah, see, I was wondering about that too because like it's good to know what Earth he's finally on because I was doing all kinds of research when the crossover first started. I could not find what Earth Black Lightning lived on. So I'm like, well, obviously it's not on. Well, I don't want to give anything away, but on the Black Lightning episode Earth Crisis, it's made clear that he's not on either Earth 1 or Earth 2. I'm not going to say why I know that, but that's revealed
that. 38, yeah. And
so I was like, well, okay, he's got to be somewhere.
Yeah. And it was 73, I guess. So that's probably the year that Black Lightning was created or something. Is what I'm guessing is how they chose.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But and then there was also the what was the other one? There was like a. I just like where when Kate shows up and somehow it's revealed that Bruce Wayne is Batman. And or something like, oh no, Kate takes off her mask at the point, and then Oliver's like, oh, that makes sense. Something like that, where he's basically finds out that, you know, he in the same fell swoop, he finds out that, you know, Batman was Bruce Wayne and Kate Kane is Batwoman. It's just like, okay. And then she's like, don't tell anybody. You know, it's just like, those little things are kind of cool, where you get these like little kind of like almost like fanboy sort of moments from people. That was basically all I had to say about the Crisis. Do you have anything else to add before we leave?
Just yeah, I guess a little bit. Just the whole aspect of like this is going to change Sarah Lance's character significantly for the Legends of Tomorrow season 5.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of weird because at first I didn't really understand why she was making such a big deal about saving Oliver. I mean, other than the fact that you know, he was like a former friend of hers, and you know, blah blah blah.
And
but
love
like,
her too.
They had not spent much time. Yeah, but they'd not spent much time with each other since then, and they didn't even really cross that much path. So it did seem kind of odd that she was like hell bent on saving him, like to the point of like drop everything else. This is my mission now in life, is to make sure. Like, and then I figured out it's because she even told Barry, you know, when she was kind of brooding by herself, you know, that he's the last person in her life that like tethers her to like her old life. Like,
yeah, because her sister and her dad are dead, and other people,
right?
You know, and other people from her past. Yeah, makes sense.
And so that made a lot of sense. That's why she was so hell bent on like finding his Lazarus pit on like some random Earth, and you know, just like and so like. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens on Legends, which is starting soon. The only other thing I have is, like, everybody always refers to this as the Arrowverse.
Mm-hmm.
I came up with a better name for it the other day, and I don't know why anybody's never called it this. I think it should be the Oliverse.
The Oliverse.
That's all.
I like that.
It just sounds better to me. But yeah. But on that note, I think we can end this long episode. Hopefully some people listen to this. If you made it this far, be sure to check out our Patreon, our TeePublic, get some cool swag, and I don't know, be sure to subscribe and share with your friends.
Yeah, and is it okay if I play our audience out with a little bit of music this time?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, I've got my guitar with me. Maybe I'll just play a little bit, nice little ditty, like Hello Kitty.
Yes.
Ditty.
Little ditty like Hello Kitty.
All right, let's see if you can.
Hopefully, it's not shitty. Oh wait, no.
Well, hopefully. Let me know if you can hear this, okay? And I'll stop if I can. But like,
okay.
Does that sound okay?
Yep, sounds good.
All right, cool. I'll play a little bit.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Oliver.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.